Please read the disclaimer. Hello, beautiful people. Shalom, money makers. What happened to the markets, to the crypto market, to the stock market, XRP, Bitcoin? Everything started falling off again. Hint, it has to do with jobs. Jobs. Guys. That was my president impression. Jobs. Guys. Listen. We got to do it. It was very bad. I'm sorry. So we're going to talk about what was the data that came out, why the market reacted the way they reacted. All I ask from you is that you give me a beautiful smile to send out those good vibes if you're still here after my bad impression. Smash that like button. Let's try to get 3,000 likes on this video and let's get into it. So currently XRP is sitting at $2.22. You can see that when the data came out, XRP was actually sitting around $2.30, but then the whole market ecosystem took a dip here. Bitcoin went from 103 all the way down to almost 100,000 again. Ethereum, same thing. Solana, same thing. Only today we got ICP, Internet Computer, that has been on a tear recently, right? They changed basically, the way they do things, and it's just gone bananas. We also talked about Zcash that also continues here, another 12% today. So there are movers, right? There are movers and shakers. But for the most part, the market was selling off, and also stocks, you can see similar time sell-off, right? As soon as it opened up, we saw the sell-off. As soon as the economic data came out, right? That's when we saw the sell-off. So it will be very interesting to see, going into tomorrow, how does the market react, and process the data? Because remember, there's not a lot of data that's coming out right now because of the government shutdown. It seems that we might be getting closer and closer to the government shutdown ending and the government reopening happening, but who knows what's going to happen, okay? I always, until it's, they turn on the lights once again, you don't know, right? So it's very important to understand that the market can continue to be volatile. There's always something that can happen. We have, again, 569 million in liquidations, Bitcoin, Ethereum, right? Big liquidations over the last 12 hours. So that is always something that's happening, and we need to take that into consideration. After we had, a nice green day yesterday, I told you, hey, let's not get our not hopes, but let's not get too excited of one green day because we know that data can come out and then everything can flip. Of course, everything that's happening and my analysis is just my analysis, okay? This is just what I'm seeing in the market. Of course, not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence before you decide to invest. These are only my opinions. Also, remember that I will never contact you on social media, ask you to sign up to anything, to send me anything. Those are imposters. I keep reporting them. New ones pop up. Be very careful out there, okay? So the first data that came out was that U.S. employers announced 153,000 jobs cut in October, marking a 175% surge and the highest of any October since 2003 per Challenger Gray, right? Employers cite cost cutting and AI as the primary drivers of these cuts. So again, AI, right? So doesn't mean per se that the companies are in a bad way. It means that they are becoming more efficient to becoming more profitable, right? A company always wants to become more efficient, more profitable, not always because they're not, they're losing money or in the black, right? But this freaked out the market, right? Because, a lot of jobs going away, especially since we haven't gotten really a job report recently because of the government shutdown. So, that can create a little bit of a fear, right? And then we also got news about U.S. household debt It surged to 197 billion in the third quarter of 2025, to a record of this massive number. This put total household debt up 642 billion over the last 12 months. The surge was driven by mortgage debt, which rose by 137 billion to a record of that massive number. And credit card debt also climbed, student loans jumps, auto loans remain flat, but Americans are piling on debt at a rapid race. And of course, when a number like that comes out, it creates some fear. And listen, the stock market is very, very close to all-time high. So anything right now that is just a little bit, concerning, sends it down. And if it goes down, we've seen that sometimes crypto and stock market are detached. Sometimes they are correlated. Today it was correlated, and we're seeing the sell-off happening both ways. The VIX was also a little bit higher today, but now it's coming down a little bit. It was all the way up to 20. Remember, I told you anything under 20 is considered not that fearful, right? And it was interesting because we were seeing on the fear and greed index gauge from CNN there, it was telling us fear or extreme fear, but the VIX isn't telling us that. It means that investors are buying calls. They're still buying calls, and that's why we're seeing the VIX still under 20, right? There's not a lot of put buying right now. So that's an interesting situation in the markets right now, and we'll see. And listen, the U.S. has now, I don't know if I can say these big numbers. I don't know why, because there was a video that I put a big number and then I got sent on vacation. So I don't know, but so we have this record number for household debt and this one for mortgages and that for auto loans, right? And so all those big numbers put a little bit fear in the market today, and that's why we're seeing red, right? Tomorrow we could get some good data, or end of the week or Friday, and we could bounce back. Again, every single day is different. I don't know how things are going to play out. Again, that's why always do your own due diligence. Okay, very, very important. This was interesting. A lot of people have been talking about this after the investment that happened yesterday that was announced. People were like, ooh, okay, now that Ripple has this valuation after this investment, I think it was like 40 billion valuation, will they go IPO, right? Because it's, it's a good valuation. No, when you get an investment and you have a valuation, doesn't mean that you have to straight away go to IPO. Not every company wants to do that. Actually, a lot of companies are actually staying private. There was a kind of a flip in 2008 where more companies actually decided to stay private. So I don't know if they don't really need to raise money. There's not a fast reason why they would need to IPO. Like if there's, they have been acquiring companies, and if they feel like they still have enough capital to do more of acquisitions, or maybe they don't want to do anymore, I don't know. There's no reason to run and do an IPO unless investors or shareholders are stressing for that because they want to, get returns. So we'll see. They said for 2025, probably not. There's not a lot left for 2025, but we'll see. Maybe in 2026 they do decide, but they said there's no immediate timeline to go public. So, that's interesting. And listen, there's a lot of catalysts for the markets, for the crypto market, for Bitcoin, for XRP, for general, the whole crypto market. For the next 2 months, of course, the end of the government shutdown. And, I'm kind of confused that people, I understand why, right? But Supreme Court strikes down the tariffs. If they cancel the tariffs, on the one hand, the US government will have to give back all the money that they took from the tariffs, but it also could help with inflation. And then the Fed would be like, ooh, okay, inflation, weak job report, weak job data, time to reduce interest rates even more. And then that could potentially send the market on a bullish movement. Again, we'll see. We don't know exactly how it's going to play out, but we will see if that will be a positive momentum for the market. And of course, the market structure bill, the Clarity Act that everybody is waiting. We got the Genius Act. Now we're waiting for the Clarity Act to pass in the government, right? So, and also, of course, we have ETFs that are coming, a slew of ETFs, of course, the XRP ETFs, and it will be very interesting to see how all of this plays out. You can see a slide after the data that came out, right? So the job cut in October hit highest level in over 20 years, right? So that created the situation. Ripple says skinny fit master account is attractive despite limitations. Ooh, it's attractive. So again, we'll see how things play out, how we go into Freaky Friday. As always, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you can always get my updates. Follow me on Twitter. On Twitter, if there's any breaking news, I tweet it out so you can get it there. And I'm going to be starting a Telegram group. So you guys were interested. Again, if you're interested, let me know in the comment section. It's only for people that watched all the way to the end. Comments. I don't know. Yesterday we did happy. Today we'll do excited. Okay. So then I'll know, because the more I know, the more I feel confident that people actually want it. Because I did a poll and it wasn't not a lot of people answered the poll, but in the comment section, a lot of people answered. So let's do excited. And of course, you can write 8 for infinity and beyond and drop a super thanks to support that way. And of course, we have the email list where you can sign up and get the amazing Avi 1348 indicator once you go with one of our partners. So again, link is in the description down below, and check those out. Those are affiliate links. So I will get a commission. Thank you for that. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you next time.